blessed to have, it's so many of these accolades behind your name. So I'm just going to go with Brent, okay? Is that okay?
That's
Brent Wolfskill is going to be our guest tonight. And he's going to introduce his doctor in a few minutes. And my co-host over here is Kimberly. All right. Okay, we're in for a treat tonight. And this is a Christian-based talk show. And we love to have fun. We do. We love to have fun.
We do.
We have so much fun on the show. But anyway, I'm going to start off with my favorite scripture. And that is Philippians 1:6. And I'm not going to quote it exactly because it means so much to me. When whatever God has started in you, you will complete it until the day of Jesus Christ. And that's what I love about this show, because we start something and we're going to keep on going until he comes back and say, that's it. And that's going to be a while, right, Kimberly?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we're in for a treat tonight. Also, my motivational saying is, in order to succeed, we must first believe that we can. And after reading your book, Mr. Brent, I got out of it that you really succeeded. You accomplished your goal.
Yeah.
You did, right?
I'm working on it.
Okay,
Yeah,
working.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Now, but I have a question for you
Okay.
tonight.
Okay.
And the question is this. If you had an opportunity to meet one person that you haven't met, who would it be? And what would you talk about? I know you too, Dr. Walker.
Living or dead?
Living. We'll go with the
Okay.
living. Because you can't talk about nobody dead.
I would say President Barack Obama.
Okay, and why? What would you talk about?
I just think the milestones that he has accomplished and achieved in his life, coming from where he came from, and the adversity he has had to overcome, and to sit in that office and deal with all the criticism, all the judgment, all the dislike and the hatred and discord, and to still be able to keep his peace, to still be able to function with a healthy marriage and be a healthy father, seem to be well-rounded and good-natured, and still keep some wit and some genuine care and concern about humanity, about itself. I think that takes a strong individual and just somebody that I think I'd like to learn from. And to do it as a biracial person or identify as a person of color is even that much more challenging, and to be the first in that office. I just think that there's a lot of greatness to be able to do something like that. So,
That's a good one.
Yeah.
What about you, Dr. Walker?
It's been my goal to meet Oprah Winfrey.
Oprah. All right. Well, now, why do you want to meet Oprah?
I think she symbolizes the epitome of a Black woman.
Yes.
She's very spiritual. She's down to earth. She realizes her humanity, her strengths, her weaknesses. She don't mind being authentic and just sharing with others, you know, about her journey, and also always extended her hand to help someone else process to their greatness. So I think she represents, a strong Black woman to me. Yeah.
I think she does too. What about you, Kimberly?
Ooh, mine is deep.
Oh, now this is a devil advocate right here.
Mine is deep. You know, if you could have asked me that in my 20s, 30s, maybe 40s, I would have had someone. But over a process of time, the growth in me, the things that I've learned about Christ, there's no one I'd like to meet. The people that I meet day to day, such as yourself, you, that's where I get my growth from. People out far reaching that used to impress me, like, ooh, I don't need that. Everything that I need is right here around me. And I can see that in you. I can see that in you. I can see that in you. I can see that in everyone. And for me, I just threw that list up, and I just thank God for the people who I can see them living day to day. Because if I meet someone, I'm just meeting them. They're not really getting to know me. And as I got older, that turned me off. I was like, okay, why would I go meet this person? It's not like they're wanting to get to know me. I want authentic people who feel mutual. There's a mutual feeling about us. They want to get to know me and see what I contribute to life and what God. It may not be on a grand scale while I'm a billionaireist or I'm sitting in an Oval Office, But who I am and the things that I have produced in my life through my children and my marriage, I think that's just as equal. Getting to know you and seeing how you lived, that just means so much more to me than someone that I don't know. And that may sound petty because I'm the devil's advocate, but
Well, that's good. You're speaking your
I
opinion.
grew up
That's
and everything I needed and the struggles that you have, or all the people that have been on the show
can
and the
learn.
people I work with,
Yes.
and watching you do what you do has just made me come out and become the woman that God has really preordained me to be years ago.
Right.
So I'm not looking for people that are way out there. And I remember Oprah said years ago, people were debating about who to choose, and that woke me up. She said, think about this. Those people aren't coming to see you. Y'all need to stop fussing. I said, Oprah, you know what? And you're not coming to see me either. Thank you for helping me grow up. We're always reaching for people. We always see people greater. And I'm not saying anything is wrong with
Right.
that. Versus the people that labor with us daily. We honor everybody out here. I used to be at a church years ago. Man, we labor years ago, over 20 years ago. And we did all this laboring. And whenever the pastor would have people come in, they will always get the front row. And the people who labored with him in the gospel, we always had to go in the back. And they're like, I'm with your children, so you could, and I'm doing this and we're doing this, but you don't honor the people that are with you all the time, or the people that, and I'm not saying it's wrong, people do what they want to do, but it just changed my perspective on a lot of things of wanting to meet people that were like way out, because you're working for people and serving people, but they don't honor you the way you honor them. And it just woke me up, and it just helped me grow to just, God appreciates all of us.
Yes.
Yes.
And
Yes.
everybody has something in them. It may not be to the extent, I represent a Black woman. I represent all women, really, but, and there's a lot you can learn from me if you just take the time to get to know
I
me.
know that's right. There's a lot you can learn from her, okay?
Yes. So
Now,
yeah, that's me.
If I ask myself that question, the person I would want to meet would be Jesus. And I would ask him, Jesus, am I going to make it in? That's all I want to know. Just let me in. That's all. But anyway, thank you all for that. I love asking questions.
Yes,
just to
that's a good
get
question.
Off of people's mind to
that's
see
good.
where they are, and that is really good. Because one thing about this,
That's
I
good.
don't know you now.
Right.
You're unknown to me now. But after this show,
Okay.
you will be known to
Known,
me. So
yes.
we like to bring those that are unknown to Facebook and YouTube, so that you will know these people that are here, just like Kimberly said, that have really been a blessing to us on the show. I've met so many people that have great testimonies that
Yes.
I don't think I
Yes.
would have been able to go through them like
Yes.
they did. So tonight we're going to hear the testimony of Brent and how he survived and everything. But before we get into that, I want to introduce you to my sauce. We always love to get into people's sauce, Brent. Thank
Okay.
Dr. Walker. So tonight mine is always yellow sauce, because I love yellow because it's cautionary. So I look at the yellow light and I slow and I keep going. Okay? So if you get out of line, I'm gonna squirt you. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. He said, okay. He's so nice. Okay. Okay. And this one over here, y'all, this is what I call the devil advocate. Okay? You got the good person here, which is me, and you got the one that always give me the trial. No. But I like him. I love the way we do. But hers is,
Red Devil.
see? The
Kanye.
devil.
Or we're gonna slap your mama. You come up here with something crazy.
I love to slap your mama. Right? I love to slap your mama part. That'd be good. And before the show is over, we're going to see which sauce Brent is going to be, okay?
Yes.
All right. So tonight, Brent, we I read your book, and I was so happy to have met you when we had Johnny Green on the show
Yes.
a few weeks
Wonderful
ago. And
She is.
she was on there talking about celebrating me.
Yes.
And tonight in this book, we met Brent back then with her, and she had another lady that I'm hoping to get on the show to tell her story.
Nakia.
Yeah, Nakia Davis,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, we're going to try to get her back on the show when we start back in January. But I was really impressed, and you're going to have to tell us a little bit about yourself. We want to know. And I read the book today. I was going through it. I said, I know I have the book somewhere. And you see, I already marked it up, okay? So it's very interesting to know some of the things. And you talked about you're an owner of the Transition counseling. You'll talk about that.
Yeah.
And we had one of your friends, Mr. Harold
Uh-huh.
Willis, that was on the show
Yeah.
way back, and he was so funny because he came in here so sharp. I thought I was gonna cut myself. But he brought out a lot of good information. And reading your book, the insert that you put in on here, and it really inspired me because when I first met you, I never thought you had gone through all this stuff,
Right.
that's in this little book. It's only like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right.
I'm gonna get to the next page. 6 pages.
His chapter.
Yeah, 6 pages that he put in there.
His
And
chapter.
it was so interesting. Are you writing another book or this?
Yeah.
You're writing another
That
book,
was the
right?
second anthology.
Okay.
And it's just so many layers to it. And that was one Sylvia just asked me to tell a little bit about that part of my life. And so the first one I started in childhood and talked a lot more about some of the trauma and the death of my mother and CPS. I didn't get into that in that book. And so there's so much more that Doc and I talk about a lot, and we just really are just getting started.
Speaking of your childhood, I thought it was interesting when I looked at your Facebook page. There's a picture of you in the Navy. Thank you for your service. He's a veteran. He's in the Navy. That's dear to my heart. Woohoo!
Oh, she has 2 sons in the Navy.
What is it? Hoo-yah, hooyah. I'm
That's the
learning.
Marine
But
Corps.
anyway, you were forged by the sea. How about that?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we don't want no Marine up here. We got the Navy up here.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a saying my sons were teaching me. Ooh-yah, hoo-yah, ooh-yah.
Hoorah.
Hoorah. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, that's Marine.
And you were in the Blueberry. Now they've changed the uniforms from.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
really neat
they don't do that anymore.
They don't do. They retired them last year.
Okay, I know.
They retired the Blueberries. So I still call my boys my Blueberries because they enlisted
Okay.
when they were still
And they
wearing that
still
uniform.
doing it.
But and my other son wanted to be a Navy SEAL. I'm so glad he didn't make it.
Right.
That Navy SEAL
they are
stuff.
the elite.
Sebring, that's great.
Oh, that's
I like
crazy.
you Navy SEAls, but just not Sebring.
Oh, not her child want to get in there, okay?
I was like, I'm so used to Mom, I didn't make it. I said, oh, that's so cool.
She's so funny, I told you.
And I was looking at your picture, and you have this look on your face.
Like, don't touch me.
Yeah. Speak to that for us, because I like what you said before the show.
Yeah.
That
Why you look like that.
Yeah, that you
Right.
were taught to smile.
Right.
Or
right.
you learned how to smile. That was just
No,
so.
you didn't smile on that picture, did it?
You
No.
was
No,
like,
you didn't smile.
Well,
You was taught
I
not
never-
to smile.
You
I would
never smile?
Yeah.
Really?
In none
And
of
they-
my pictures, I didn't smile.
and they
Why?
taught you to.
Yeah. It was just, I think it was important to me to keep a look of being hard and being unapproachable. And I thought that was macho.
Oh, really?
I thought ladies like that, at least the type of ladies
You got a woman want to come towards you and you looking all mean and
that was the circle that I operated in.
did they come to you looking like that?
Certain, the ones that I met.
Your wife ain't gonna say nothing.
No,
tonight,
she
no.
wasn't one of
Oh,
those
she
type
wasn't.
of women.
She broke it down. She
Nah,
broke it
Don't
down.
make him
I was-
scared to talk.
I
His
was-
wife is here tonight too.
I was smiling when I met her.
Oh, okay.
I had learned.
I know you was happy,
Yeah.
wasn't you?
I had learned by then. But
I
up
think you said
until
you went
then,
to
I was
some
a
type of
club
counseling.
guy, and I was a Navy guy. I was a
Uh-huh.
club guy, and it was, womanizing and different women. And
That's
that
the
type
You was a womanizer.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, Navy.
Not
yeah.
this
That wasn't in the book.
Not this
Oh,
picture.
no,
Not
was.
picture.
You
no.
see how your face can really.
Oh my
I
Right.
thought you would have
gosh.
fooled me. I never would have thought that you
No,
have such
man.
an innocent looking face.
Yeah,
And
that, yeah,
Wait a second.
yeah. And you know what? I used to get I was stationed over in Hawaii. I got
Uh-huh.
a comment a lot of time that I look like Mike Tyson. And I
Yeah.
thought that
Oh,
was
really?
cool. Iron
Yeah.
Mike. And you remember Mike never smiled. He always
He sure
walked
did.
in the
Yeah,
ring
walked
looking
up
hard.
clean
Yes.
looking.
And
Yeah.
I thought I wore that like a badge of honor to look hard,
Wow.
because I was in an environment with a lot of men, and even
Yeah.
before that, in the neighborhood that I was in, it was
What kind of neighborhood?
well, just guys, a lot of guys that didn't have father figures a lot of times.
So where'd you grow up?
I'm from St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay.
And,
okay, St. Louis.
Yeah, from St. Louis, around the Ferguson area.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
right around that area. That's our neighborhood. And so you kind of had to, before guns were really big, a lot of guys, you had to know how to fight. You had to know how to fight.
Right.
Yeah.
You had to know how to fight then.
And so that was something that was a badge of honor to be hard, and I wanted to do that well,
Wow,
or at
that's
least act
good.
like I could.
Yeah.
And so the face was a part of that.
So
That
then
whole
nobody
look.
come towards you.
And y'all remember, well, Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. And so I don't know if you remember the LL Cool J before he got into Hollywood. He never smiled.
He sure
And
did.
his first song that we all love, I'm Bad. You know, that was the song, I'm
Yeah,
Bad, you know, and how
yeah.
tough he was. And we would play that over and over and over. And then when the Eazy-E, the gangster and all that gangster rap came out, we just loved that type of stuff because it epitomized what being hard was, and you could see where it has gone to with the young community, the black community.
Yeah.
It's done took off now, and so God delivered me from that mindset, and but a lot of people don't. And so it actually learning that I even was doing, I didn't even know I was doing it unconsciously.
Oh yeah.
And I was blessed to go to treatment for drug addiction and alcoholism while I was in the Navy. They sent me to a residential treatment center to live there because I tested positive for cocaine back in 1990. And I had to go live at a residential treatment center. And some of the feedback that I got from my group members who liked me and saw me as an innocent person, face and all that, they said I was a nice guy, but I appeared not approachable, that I never smiled and I had this defense. And I was like, wow. And everybody said the same thing. I never knew that. And so from that moment on, I always made it a point to practice smiling and learning how to smile.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that out. That was like a part of your ego. Because people need to know that sometimes it's just the ego thing, right?
Yeah.
It's not really who you want to be. You just want to be in the crowd. That's good.
Right.
Okay, in the book it said that you had a problem with food.
What kind of food?
You would just eat everything.
What?
Yeah, you were like little Mikey, just eat up everything.
Food.
I was surprised. He said that he would just eat black culture food, known as soul food, and hot dogs, hamburger. He would just eat everything up. And he came real obese. He was a greedy little boy.
Right.
He said my eating had nothing to do with my appetite or hunger.
Right.
But you was eating. Why? Why was you eating like this? Tell us about that.
It's kind of layered. I think growing up, food brings pleasure. It's a lot of pleasure with food.
I was thinking about some
He said food brings pleasure. You be happy.
Food is comfort. Food, and that's why we call it soul food.
Soul food.
Yeah,
it fill your soul up with the food.
Yeah. And so, and even in the church, after church,
we just had one yesterday.
Come on now, ribs.
I cooked some pinto beans. I had 2 crock pots of pinto beans, soul food pinto beans. All of it was gone. Carlos ate it up. Carlos and Emmanuel ate up all of those things.
You had my chicken here yesterday too.
Girl, baby, they had smothered pork chops, honey. You missed it, baby.
Right.
Candy yams and all that good food.
And
so you was eating up everything.
Those type of things, bring a lot of comfort. And
he took his comfort. He said bring a lot of comfort.
And I think it's taught from generation to generation. It was taught. And it's so much activity that's associated around eating everything. Whether it's a funeral, whether it's a wedding, whether it's after church, whether it's breakfast, a date,
going out,
graduation,
crying,
everything. Yeah,
and you were eating that all of money.
Yeah. And still do. It's just the choices have to look a little different now. So we can still learn how to eat. We just can't, I just can't eat like that anymore. And food still does bring a lot of pleasure.
It does.
It's a powerful tool.
And then you put in here, you started eating again after your mom died. You said your mom died from leukemia when you was 10 years old.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
And her death added to my reason for eating again.
Yeah.
And so from a little boy up, you were just eating. Were they just feeding you?
Well,
were you breastfed or what?
I think so.
Okay, because I know the breastfed baby like to eat.
Right.
And they just eat. So you went from a baby just eating, and then from 10 years old, you started back eating more and everything.
Yeah, food helped cover up a lot of emotions.
Yeah.
And so I remember we were finding out my mother had passed away. When they told me, and it was just overwhelming of emotion. And what the first thing I remember getting that gave me some comfort was we went and got some White Castle. And they let me get as much as I wanted. And so generally, just coming from the community I had, you couldn't get as much as you want. You can get 2 hamburgers, or you can get, a little small hamburger, or you're going to get 1 hamburger, you get the baby one, y'all going to share a fry, I said, well, can I get 2? And no, we don't have the money. We can't afford that. We don't get what you get. You don't throw
and you have to eat it.
Yeah. And so, you almost like feel deprived emotionally.
Yeah.
And so I remember when I was able to afford what I wanted, I said, I'm going to buy it.
And you just went crazy.
Yeah, I'm going to treat myself. And so, and a lot of people still do that. That's why we have buffets and things. And we try to get our money's worth at a buffet.
And we just sit there and eat.
Didn't we?
Right.
I mean, we eat up when you say all you can eat. We can eat up all you can eat. Because you said by the age 18, you just started just going eating. But then it started, you joined the gym to stay out of trouble. So that helped you with your
Somebody
eating.
hit me with a car. Yeah, I got a guy ran me over with a car.
He ran you over?
Yeah, one of them fighting moments. Yeah, and we were running away from the scene. And I was overweight and trying to run and away from the fight. And you couldn't run because
you were too healthy.
It was snowing outside. I'm trying to run. I'm out of breath after a fight. And he had bust all his car windows out. And that guy jumped up, got in that car, whooped all the glass off his seat. And jumping out, I could hear that car coming around the corner still. And he gunned it. Just gunned it. And all I could do was just freeze. And luckily, I jumped in the air at the same time. He hit me and flipped over. But that right there, it changed me. I came really close to losing my life.
Also, you were so obese at that time.
Yeah. That definitely played a part in it. And the choices that I made to even be there, put myself in that position. But definitely the weight didn't help, and so I was able to recover from that, but that made me kind of chill out a little bit. And so I started going to the gym all the time instead of hanging out all the time. I didn't like having to go places and have a weapon or have to be with somebody all the time or watch my back. And so instead of going out all the time, I would just go to the gym. Yeah.
And what inspired him at the gym was he lost 60 pounds. And that would inspire and encourage anyone. And that boosted up his confidence.
It did.
So from that, you said that for the first time in my life, I started believing in myself because that 60 pounds encouraged you that you could lose that weight. But you started back eating again. No, you went to the Navy.
I went to the Navy.
You went to the Navy. He was so inspired from losing that. He signed up for the Navy.
Yeah.
They probably wouldn't have accepted you. They too heavy, wouldn't they?
They wouldn't.
So
matter of fact, I was denied a lot of things as a child because of the weight. Couldn't play in certain sports.
That's right.
You had to have weight limits, and I could never make any of the weight limits. And so that was some traumatic experiences associated with childhood, feeling rejected, feeling not good enough.
That's good you brought that up. Yeah. A lot of time when a person is feeling rejected, like you say, the food, we are confident. Right. So you felt rejected and all of this here, and you would just eat while during your childhood.
Food was always
good for you.
Food was always
comforting.
My best friend.
Really?
Right.
So you would talk to the food.
You said, you can do that, and we still do.
And you still do. Right. So when you would be the president, you just sit there and say, "Boy, this food is good," and just keep eating.
Yeah.
But when you got into the Navy. The Navy, what happened after you got into the Navy with your food?
So you still ate in the Navy. The only thing is you're in the military, and so you're accountable for your body fat.
Right.
And so you have to PT, physical therapy, physical training. And so I was still accountable for keeping a certain weight limit. And so I had to always work out. And so I would eat. I ate what I wanted.
You never did stop eating.
Never stopped eating. Okay. But I just would work out harder. I would run a lot. I stayed in the gym. And so I managed my body fat. And it seemed to work. Yeah, it seemed to work. Although I was always right on the line. I was always, right on the line.
But you didn't get any diagnosis of diabetes or anything like that?
I did get diagnosed with high blood pressure.
Okay, just high blood pressure, no diabetes.
No.
How long were you in the Navy?
8 years.
8 years?
8 years in?
Mhm.
Okay, so after you got out the Navy, you went back to you were stationed in Hawaii. You mentioned that.
No accountability once
No
I got
accountability
out.
when you got out. So you
Yeah.
started back eating.
Nobody to tell
So
me
you've
what to
always had a eating disorder. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, just eating.
Yeah.
But then you said here, then I met my wife. Now, your wife is here with you tonight, Stephanie.
Yeah.
Hi, Stephanie.
Stephanie.
Hi, Stephanie.
Okay, so you said, then I met my wife, and then you said we both had a love for food.
Right. That
So
was
Stephanie didn't help you with the food, huh?
No,
She could cook.
not really.
She could cook.
We used to like to that mean go out on dates.
Okay.
Yeah, that we
Yeah,
date.
dating
We went out, and she exposed me to different restaurants. I kind of grew up in the hood where my idea of going out was fast food, and Stephanie took me to sit down restaurants and
Yes.
red
Yes.
lobster.
Well, now you hit it. I love some red lobster.
Yeah, and different things. And
So how did you like going to the restaurants that wasn't in the hood, as you say?
It was different.
It was different.
Yeah, it was different, and I've grown to enjoy that. But
Yeah,
that's good.
I had to grow to
Mhm.
enjoy that. And I look at it now. I say that one is peasant food, and one is the food of a king. You know, one is more quality food,
Uh-huh.
You better
and
say
one
it.
is peasant food. It's food we can get at fast food that's cheap, right out here on the Rosedale, that we can go to the barbecue shop or
Yeah.
run into and grab a little tripe sandwich. Y'all know what that is?
Uh-huh.
You know what a tripe sandwich is?
I don't like that.
Okay, I used to eat
I've
those.
never had it, but
Yeah, that's cow intestine.
I know.
And fried up.
Now
with
give me
pickles.
some chitlins. I'm all right
Same
with that.
thing. Yeah,
now.
I can't do
But
that.
I ain't had no chitlins in so long. You know, they don't like it in my household. So
Can we go back to, because I know you were saying that you didn't smile and then you
Mm-hmm.
overcame that. So how did you engage with your wife? How did y'all meet if you weren't smiling?
Mm.
Did you see her and just go, oh Lord, I found what happened?
she brought a smile to your
I
face.
know. Did you see
didn't
her
she?
across the room?
You had to bring
Oh.
a smile.
You met her in Hawaii?
Yeah.
Did she
Oh,
have
really?
her-
So
Yeah.
she's from Hawaii?
No, she was just living over there as a young lady, young single lady with some girlfriends. They had a
What?
house
They
on
was
the
grown.
Oh, so you was in the Navy.
beach. Yeah.
And she was out on the beach with a bikini on or something?
Well,
Did she have her full thing?
that's why they moved over there to go hang out and live.
What? She was
She had
real
she
grown.
was a travel agent, and
Uh-huh.
it was a bunch of them. They rented a house on the beach.
Oh, they was rich.
Oh, they was
big time.
They
Go
thought
on,
they
Stephanie.
were. They was living it up. So, I was at a reggae concert,
Uh-huh.
and one of my friends was dating one of her friends, and he invited me to the concert, and I met Stephanie through him at
Uh-huh.
the concert, and we've been together ever since.
From the first day you met, were you smiling then?
I was, yeah, I was.
So y'all got
Yeah.
this conversation. Was it over food?
Our first date was a movie.
Aw.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, first
you
day
remember
was-
the movie?
No, I don't. No, it was a
Look, she
comedy
said
though.
no.
It was a
Y'all
comedy.
probably weren't paying no attention to the movie.
So
Right.
30 years later.
30 years later.
Y'all been married 30 years?
We've been married 29 and some change, but dating 30. Yeah, 30 last month.
That's
Uh-huh.
awesome. You put up with him all that time.
I know,
Look,
right?
she said, I know. I should.
Isn't that interesting
That's
that
interesting.
you joined the Navy, you
Mhm.
decided to go through a travel agent.
Yes,
to
how they
go,
met.
and then you meet in Hawaii.
And that's
That
a
is
nice
so
spot.
awesome.
Isn't
Yeah,
that
it was.
awesome?
It was.
Just how destiny.
Definitely.
So did you
So you
marry
just
her in
here.
Hawaii or
We
did you?
did.
Oh, y'all actually. So
Twice.
how long?
We got married twice in Hawaii.
Get out of here. Where, how did
How
you
you
go
do
double
that?
dose?
Well, when we first got married, through the Justice of the Peace, we
Okay.
just went down. We took a half day off work. Both of us worked in the
Wait a
morning.
minute, stop. Wait a minute. How long? Wait. How long had y'all
10
been
months.
together before you actually took her to the Justice Peace?
10 months.
Wow.
Wow, Stephanie, you got it going on, girl.
Yeah.
Girl, you made
So
him
10
smile.
months,
Mhm.
and y'all was married. You was
Yeah.
still stationed in the Navy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, then y'all got married when? Later, the second time.
About 9.5 years ago. We
So
went-
y'all actually had a wedding this
Yeah.
In
time.
Hawaii?
We went back to Hawaii. We took
Oh,
family.
that's so cute.
We took family and friends, and we rented a house on the beach, and we stayed
Wow.
15 days, and we put all the friends up in the house on the beach,
Ooh, y'all was high, what's
We
called
had a
high
great
baller,
time.
big baller, roll
and we
baller.
set up a little a ceremony, a vow renewal on the beach,
That was so
and that was
nice.
something we always wanted to do. Since
Oh.
when we first got married, we weren't able to afford that,
Yeah.
and we just took a half day off work, and then we went out to dinner with some friends, and went to work the next day. No honeymoon and none of that
Wow.
stuff.
Well, y'all was in Hawaii
We were in
anyway,
Hawaii.
so Hawaii.
Let me
was
ask you
nice.
this. You leave from Missouri.
Yep. St. Louis.
St. Louis. You're in the Navy. How long had you been in the Navy by the time you met her?
3 years. 3 years.
So you get out of that city, that frame of mind where you were.
I was also out of my first treatment too. I was out of treatment, so I was a different guy when I met her.
What do you mean treatment?
So I remember I told you I had the issue with the cocaine and
Oh,
so
yeah,
it was
right.
after that. And
Okay.
so I was a different person then. And so I was looking for ladies and
Oh, you wanted to be married.
well, I was looking for a relationship,
Yeah.
a serious
For a
relationship
during that time.
where it was more than just a one night stand. I was looking for somebody to be with, to build with, to grow
Yeah.
with, that I
That's
could
good.
trust.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's my point. I was leaving.
That I could
How
trust.
did you know she would be the one?
And after 2
Out of all them
months.
little luau girls.
Right.
Now why
What
you
you
gotta
call
say
them?
luau
What
girls?
you call them?
You know, I think one of the main things was she just had my back, you know, and she was
Wow.
willing to share with me her resources. She was down for me, and she exposed me to different cultural things, and she helped me to grow. And I could see
Wow.
myself
Go
growing
Stephanie.
into somebody
That's
different
awesome.
with her outside of my
beautiful.
comfort zone.
That's awesome.
You hear that, Carlos? I was asking that for you.
Yeah,
For both of them.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
look, do y'all have any children?
We have one daughter. She is 20 years old. She was trying to make it here tonight. She's over at TCU, and she had a meeting at 5:30, and not gonna be able to make it.
Oh,
and so
okay,
yeah,
we'll get her later.
What's her
on.
name?
yeah. Her name is Brenna.
Oh,
Oh, shout out to you, Brenna.
Yeah, Brenna
Okay,
Boo.
good, good. And TCU?
Yeah,
Okay, and TCU as well.
yeah, we're
yes.
Okay, so
friends.
okay, so you married that you had reached 350 pounds.
Yeah,
Wow.
And you tried all these diets. You say you tried the Aiken diet and you lost 40 pounds.
gained it back.
And then you went back and you started back. So you would eat, go back, eat, and all this.
Mhm.
And then you came up, you found out later on that you were diagnosed with prostate cancer. You had several other health issues, kidney failure, high blood pressure. All of this stuff was coming up. And then you met the doctor.
Yeah,
Okay, so did this bring in the doctor from you mean all this something?
it was I met Dr. Walker. I was on that other journey with a lot of that stuff before I met Dr. Walker.
Okay.
And so we were dealing with it conventionally. I was going to the VA and private doctors, and I fell into just a regular regimen like everybody else. Take the medicine and try to cut back, go work out, do the best you can, eat more chicken, turkey, fish. That's what they tell you.
Yeah,
That's
yes,
it. Eat more
yeah,
chicken,
eat more
turkey,
of that,
fish.
yeah.
Right. But really not knowing how to take my power back
Okay.
and how to really walk in that power and how to live, how to really eat to live and let food be my medicine.
Okay.
And we can do that. I didn't even know how to get from there to here.
Mhm.
And through a mutual friend, Laverne Farrell, who I worked with at the school district at the time, she was always into holistic natural health and essential oils. And she knew I had got diagnosed with prostate cancer. And I was getting ready to do radiation or the surgery. I was strongly considering that because them the option.
Right,
You
that's
know,
what they tell you.
A, B, or C.
C,
That's
yeah.
all you could do. And she told me that she knew a lady that had her own cancer journey and had walked through it holistically. And she went away to this holistic retreat center, and she lived there for a month and learned how to live naturopathically and take her power back and healed herself of cancer. And I was like, for real? You know, you hear stuff,
Yeah.
you hear stuff
And you
like
wondering
that.
if it's really real.
Right. I really was. And so I always had that in the back of my mind that if all else fails, I can go to that. So I met with all the conventional doctors, and I heard they were all saying the same thing. It was cookie cutter stuff. It was like, you know, the same thing they were doing for me, they doing for him, doing for him, doing for him, doing for him. And so it's
that's good.
nothing different. But when I talked to, and so I was desperate because of my kidney issues. I didn't think my body could take radiation. I didn't think my body could take surgery. And I had some other issues with in healthcare. I had neck surgery before I had a fusion. I woke up paralyzed on my whole left side, and I had to learn how to walk again, how to move my finger. Yeah, and talk about sickness and health. When we woke up from the surgery, and your wife has to bathe you and clean you and wipe you and all of that.
And that's hard on a man to do that.
Oh man,
that is really hard on a man.
Right.
And Stephanie did all of that.
Yeah.
Stephanie, you are a blessing, baby.
Yeah,
That's a blessing.
Yeah, she turned her nose when she did it, but she did it. I remember.
Oh God, I gotta do this, but that's love. Though. Yeah. Love will go through all that.
Yeah, and so I knew that there were no guarantees. I had done enough conventional to know that all it is pills and supplements, and there's no guarantees with that. And I just didn't feel like it was going to work for me. And so I was like, what do I have to lose?
Just try.
Just try. If it don't work, I'll go back to
the other side.
And so the lady called me. She was having a workshop over her house. Dr. Walker was speaking at the workshop. Mm-hmm. And at that meeting, it was a connection. It was a divine connection. It was like, wow. You could feel the anointing and the presence of God when she was speaking. And it's like, wow. And we connected. And she said she would work with me. And I still didn't call her. I still waited a couple of months.
Because you were still thinking it wasn't going to work for you.
Right. Just, because there's so much faith that's involved in that. And it's so radical to what we're taught.
Yeah.
And eventually I did. And I went in and talked with her. And I've been going ever since.
So what kind of doc? Introduce your doctor to us.
Dr. Japonica Walker. She is my accountability partner. She is my my spiritual advisor. She is my wellness doctor, my therapist. Yeah. Wow. I don't have any secrets.
All of these above.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. And shame. She's my marriage counselor. It ain't Dr. Walker. Dr. Walker, does she know? When I would get mad at Stephanie, I'd go talk to Dr. Walker.
Ooh, Stephanie, you made him mad.
And I would tell her things Stephanie did to me, and she would always bring it back to me.
Yeah.
As to how I was responsible for this. And it used to piss me off.
You would get mad at her.
Yeah.
But she would tell you the gospel too.
But eventually I heard what she said. And I took my power back, and I learned how to love myself more, and then love and appreciate my wife, and not try to change her, and not try to control her.
Right.
And Doc's been married.
You all right.
She's been married 30-some years with 8 children that she's homeschooled. Really? And so she done walk through some powerful stuff. And so who better to be a teacher and advisor of somebody that got that type of background and skill.
That's a good man.
And you have, how you pronounce your name again? Japonica. That is so beautiful. Japonica Walker. I'm going to throw this in. She was supposed to be on my show back in August. So we're going to get her back, Dr. Walker. And I was really excited because when I was reading the book, I said, that name sounds so familiar. Went to my phone and I had my notes. And when you said it again today, I said, I know her from somewhere. I went back to my phone. But, and you look so beautiful. You have 8 children and you homeschooled them.
There's a God in heaven.
I know that's right. We got to have you back. I'm ready. I'm picking you tonight. I know. But one of the things that Dr. Walker told you, she said, you put in here, you said, I sought her help to find an alternative to traditional surgery for my cancer. Mm-hmm. And she told me, I am not going to promise you that you are not going to die. Mm. But what I will promise you is that you will live your best life. I like that, doctor.
Yeah.
I really like that. Why did you share that with him? Why did you tell him that?
Because I had walked through it as well when I went down to the Optimal Health Institute and walked through my journey with cancer. They also said the same thing.
Okay.
Because a lot of times, when you have a diagnosis of cancer, if everyone, generally speaking, most people are looking for someone to say, this is going to heal you.
Right.
I wasn't any different. So, and when we had the conversation with the director, that she was very upfront with me and said, I can't promise you that this will, keep you from dying, but what I can promise you is that you will live your best quality of life, which is exactly what it's been.
So what is a natural practitioner?
a naturopathic doctor,
Mhm.
and we look at the body. We look at chronic health diseases from a holistic perspective. So many times in allopathic medicine, you get a diagnosis and they only look at the symptoms. And so we go a little bit deeper. We
Okay.
look at not just the disease, but we look at where's the root cause. And, it's not just like associated with the prostate, because the prostate and the kidneys work together along with the adrenal. So we're all one unit with many parts.
Right.
We look at health from many different perspectives and not just from the disease perspective.
Okay, is this is it natural vitamins or herbs or what?
It's several different.
Okay.
It's holistic medicine now is really big. Alternative, complementary medicine.
When you say holistic, what do you mean by that?
The whole person.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
the whole
You're
body.
looking at the whole person.
Okay.
And so usually, like if you get a type 2 diabetes
Mhm.
diagnosis, and they're looking at the disease when
Oh.
in actuality that the pancreas
Mhm.
is speaking when you
Okay.
go a little bit deeper, and that's also affecting your adrenals,
Okay.
which is going to also affect your digestive system. So
Okay.
we look at those things. We look at diet,
okay.
lifestyle, stress. So it's a lot of different things that we look at to say why is the body, because the body has its own language system,
Right.
just like a car.
Yeah.
So when the car has
Mess
some
up.
issues going on, it's a check engine.
Yeah.
So the
I
body
like that.
has check engine lights as well.
Okay. So
Instead of that 83 octane, get that 93.
And most people, when we're looking at fuel, they use the
That
cheapest.
cheaper one.
yeah,
Because
the regular one. Yeah.
your body's telling you that whatever's in them candy yams, I don't want it no more.
Yeah.
And I remember there was this actor that said that when he turned 50, he realized what he used to eat. When he was younger, he can no longer eat over 50. And that stayed with me. And I was
Right.
like, oh, he just talking.
Mhm.
Then 50 came. I said, oh, he won't just talk.
AARP hit.
Oh, man,
AARP hit.
Man, AARP come around that corner and go, bam,
Bam.
bam, eat it one more time, bam. Yeah. So, there's a lot of things I've had to change. And I was like, oh, man, I can't eat the red hots and Boston baked beans like I used to. Now, if you want to stay here, you can.
Yeah, you can.
Right.
Yeah, it's changed a lot.
So when you met Dr. Walker,
Mhm.
you said in the book too that you had to, I guess she sat down and told you what you had to do. Gave you a plan, right?
Yes, we worked on a plan. And
And you were there every week for 4 years.
still go.
Wow.
I still
4
go.
years.
I just saw her the other day, and I write down what I eat every day. I still do that, and
That's
she
good.
checks it.
You check it out. Huh?
She check what I eat, and it still ain't perfect, but it's not where it used to be. It's getting better, and so it's layers to it, and so I'm learning to be obedient to where God is calling me.
Good.
And let go of the worldly desires for that pleasure for food, because it's so much emotional and social connection, and so much of my identity is
Yeah.
still connected to food.
Oh, trust me.
And it's so much. It's like everywhere. And so I guess it's a
And
journey.
have you ever noticed that it's like a certain thing that you eat all the time? It's not like everything. Like some people can just, it's gotta be this particular chocolate cake from Tom Thumb with the bluebell ice cream.
Right.
Or this particular chicken, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It can't be chicken from whatever chicken place over there. It has to be KFC, the wings with
Yeah.
the Missouri. What's that Cajun hot?
Mhm.
It's that particular, and every time you get that emotion, that's the same thing you want.
Right.
You don't branch out to chicken from like some other
Right.
fancy restaurant. It's
Yeah.
always just that chicken in that bag down the street that's greasy.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
go for the
And
baked
those are
chicken.
the ones that taste good. Like
Why
the ones
is
that
that?
we don't need.
We
Mhm.
don't need all the grease dripping everywhere.
Right.
You sucking the bone for an hour watching that show.
Hmm.
And I know our time is getting out. The time goes by so fast
It
when you're
does.
having fun. But we're going to get ready. But I wanted to bring this out. He said, he tickled me because he said, our sessions pissed me off at first. I just want you to know he put that in the book.
Oh, he tells.
Oh, he tells you that too. he said, but I had to learn how to honor my body. And then you
that's
said, and it
good.
paid off because you lost 150 pounds.
Right.
Thank you, doctor. You have to
Yes.
lose 150 pounds. I
Right.
can't picture you being 350.
I got pictures.
And then you said you went from that 55% body fat to 22
Yeah.
percent body fat.
Yeah.
And you still dropping your weight. But you said Dr. Walker taught me about weight, supplement,
Mm-hmm.
rest, and stress. I mean, you really helped him out, doctor. Will you please come back on our show and talk about this? We're gonna have to get you back on. Oh my God.
No.
Oh, you're gonna have to really send this picture to my
That's
son.
not you.
Oh my God.
How old were
He
you?
look like a little fat boy. I mean, they don't even look like you at all now.
I was probably about
Oh my God.
That is so
Look
cute.
like you.
30,
Look at no little fat jaw.
38.
Oh, Stephanie, look at those little fat jaws. I bet Stephanie like playing with them little fat jaws.
You love that face.
Gosh, that was something.
Good work. Good work. Doc.
I'm gonna have to get that picture so we can put it on the show.
Good work.
That's good work. But before we, you said here, now is my desire to teach others as I walk it out myself. So
Right.
what would you tell us in our, I like the way you put two before we said it. You said the law of attraction means we must experience whatever we want more of right now. If we want more love, we must become love.
Mm.
If we want more peace, we must become peace.
Yeah.
If we want more finances, we must give more.
Mm.
It is a simple principle. If I want other people to love me, I must fall in love with myself.
Yeah.
So have you
Yes.
fallen in love with yourself?
I have, and I don't think it's something. I think it's something that you never stop. It's something you
Yeah.
have
I
to
like
do.
that.
You have to do daily. And
Yes.
so, just when I thought I had arrived and I
Yes.
had done it, I
Yes.
found out there's still so much more
More.
to do.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yes.
yeah, and it's like, wow. And then I hit a little plateau. It's like, wow, I love myself at that level, and then God called me to another level. It's like,
yes,
this ain't good enough. So I want you to love me more, which is loving yourself, because God is in us. He is the great I am. And we are made in the image of God.
Yes.
And so as I love God with all my heart, mind, soul, and strength, it is loving myself. It is loving my thoughts.
Yes.
It's loving myself by the way I think,
Yes.
by the way I eat.
Yes.
Because God has a diet
well,
for us.
that's
He
good.
created a diet for us.
Yes, he did.
And the world created a diet
God
for us.
for us.
God tells us to protect our heart from things,
Yeah.
and because out of it flow the issues of life. And so if I'm walking
Yes.
around with resentments and bitterness
Yes.
and unforgiving, that's not loving
That's
myself.
not. That's
And
not.
it can create disease. And I learned that through Dr. Walker. And I went down to the place in Austin also, and I stayed down there 3 weeks straight, and really learned how to juice, how to do wheatgrass, how to use different supplements, how to like food, because that guy right there didn't like vegetables at
I can see.
all. And I had to learn how to enjoy salads. When Stephanie and I first got, I hate salads. I didn't eat
I
salads.
love salad.
Right, I do now.
I do.
Yeah, I love a
love
good salad now, but I had to learn that. I had
Yeah.
to be transformed
Yes.
by renewing
By the
my-
renewing of your mind.
Right.
That's
so,
awesome.
Good.
That's
I
what
like
we've
the
been
way
doing.
Dr. Tonica.
I like that
I
name.
like the way you counsel, because you, especially being a woman,
Yes.
because when you hear, you didn't take sides.
No.
You were
don't.
able
That's
to
right.
stop. There's very few people that are
That's
able
right.
to stop and make you focus on
That's
you,
right. On
Mhm.
you.
and not so much what the other
Other
person
person.
is doing.
Mhm.
That's very commendable.
That's good. And
Yeah.
that's good counseling.
That's
Yeah.
good
Because see, she was making you see you as
Yeah.
not
And
Stephanie.
I find
Right.
fault with
That's
you,
right, with
Always.
very
That's good.
Yeah.
And that's good. Okay, but before we close, I want you all to meet our model. And she's going to model for us tonight. No, I wasn't going to forget that. Because Kimberly, I had to really work on this person. But she dressed so nice to me. So come on, Kimberly. Let's look at what she have all night. This is Slap Your Mama. Slap Your Mama. Slap Your Mama song. I love the jacket. You see the jacket. It has all those different holes in it. And those are leather pants, right? The leather pants. and the top and all of that. And I love her boots. Those boots are awesome. So this is what you get part of when you look at the Talk of Life talk show. You're going to see all of Kimberly new outfits. And then we're going to have a fashion show later on with just Kimberly and her style. So these are things that you look forward to on the Talk of Life talk show. So before we close, Doc, I want to call you Dr. Brent. I know you had to go first through your transition of yourself, but what would you tell our Facebook and YouTube words of encouragement, how you overcome your eating and all of the struggle? What would you give them advice on?
I would say faith. Keep faith, and without faith, it's impossible to please God. God wants us to increase our faith.
Yes,
and he said,
Yes.
the just shall live by faith.
Yes.
Life is about faith. And
Yes,
the more we're willing
Yes,
to
sir.
stretch our faith and increase our faith, the more we will experience the fullness and the power of God
Yes.
and live our best life. But we have to be willing to practice that courage. And so we can achieve and accomplish just about anything we put our mind to if we can believe it and have faith in it. God is able.
And I know this is going to be impossible, but Stephanie, would you come on up here so they can see you? Come on, Stephanie. We're going to close out with Stephanie. This is his beautiful wife. Come on,
Yes,
Stephanie.
come on, Stephanie.
Stephanie, this is Stephanie, his beautiful wife that's been there for him through, almost 30 some years. You have anything to say, Stephanie?
I'm very proud of him. He's gone through a lot. Dr. Walker has helped him with a lot, and he's a better man for it.
Good, and you love that man, don't you?
I do.
That's
I do.
good. That is
I
so
do.
awesome.
That is-
She said that I do. You would think she's going back to the marital thing. I do.
I do.
Thank you, Stephanie, for
Thank
joining us.
you.
Thank you so much. All right, remember to watch the Talk of Life talk show with Elma every Monday and Thursday. God has blessed us to have another night, and we're so blessed to have all these beautiful guests that come on. They're unknown to us, but like I said, now we know you, Brent,
Yeah.
and you're welcome
Thank
to
you.
come back again and talk. Yes, tell us about that. Thank you, Kimberly.
Transitions Counseling is in Grand Prairie, Texas.
Woo-hoo, GP.
We are www.transitionscounselingdfw.com. You can reach us at 817-680-9218. We have a team of therapists there that provide mental health counseling support services. We love to help you.
Yes.
And Dr. Walker's practice is in Mansfield, Texas.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
And we're going to have Dr.
Awesome.
Walker on the show.
Yeah, I got a lot of
Yeah.
questions to ask.
Yes, for her. So we're going to have her on there.
enough.
Yes,
Yeah,
we got to
she
get
said
the
eight is
doctor.
enough.
This time we're going to get you. I'm just so excited to have you on the show. I know we'll get to talk about your business a lot, but I was just so excited to hear your story. That's the encouraged me.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people that are out there are dealing with weight and they don't know how. But tonight you heard his story. You can overcome it. You just got to put your mind through it. You might have to get some counseling or whatever. Do that. It's going to help save your life.
Yeah.
So until I see you face to face on the Talk of Life talk show with Elma, if you would love to be on the show, check me out at www.elmatalkshow.com, and we will love to have you on our show. May God bless you and keep you. Monday and Thursday, Facebook, 8 p.m., YouTube, 7:45. Until I and Kimberly see you face to face, may God bless you.
Wait for it. Wait.